Thanks for joining me at Fireside Chats with Eric Coffie, host of GovCongiants. Thanks for all who are watching me on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, or you're streaming it somewhere. Today's question, it says, I feel like I'm still not 100% certain on how this process works. I think I'm having trouble with drafting my bid and all the supporting documents and info they require. Also, I'm not even sure where to submit my bid once I've drafted it. This question comes from Devin. Devin, hey, first of all, thank you so much for actually having the confidence to submit this question because again, if you have the question, so do thousands of people out there. So let's break down Devin's question today. The first part says I'm having trouble with drafting my bid and all the supporting documents they require. Again, I'm reading into the question. I'm thinking to myself a couple of things. What sounds like to me is not that Devin's having trouble drafting the actual bid itself. It sounds like to me he's having trouble with putting together the technical proposal or the technical aspect of it. For all the bids out there that I've seen that were publicly posted, they're pretty specific and clear about the instructions to offerers of what they're asking. Now, it does vary from agency to agency, department to department. So it does vary, but they do all list out there what their instructions are. So again, if you are pulling information off of beta.sam.gov, the website, and if you're going in there and you're searching for opportunities, and once you find those opportunities, they're going to have on there a list of documents. Now, sometimes because it's 5 documents, 10 documents, 3 documents, maybe they're 50 pages, 75 pages. So sometimes when you see that, you could get overwhelmed and then just want to throw your hands up. But it really, if you pull down the solicitation or the main request for proposal or request for quote document, it's going to have in there the instructions. Now we do have longer videos on YouTube where I explain and I go through and I show you examples of that. So we're not going to walk through that today. But if I would do a quick search for instructions to offerers or instructions of offerers, and once you see those instructions, it's going to list what are all the things that you need to include to submit with the bid. In addition to that, it's going to tell you whether or not your bid should be emailed versus mailed. It should tell you the number of pages if you're doing a technical write-up, how many pages, the fonts, the sizes, the page width, things like that. If it doesn't specify that, then there are no limitations. But for most of the technical proposals that I've ever seen in my experiences, they've all had page limit requirements on them. So again, if you are reading the instructions for offerers, it's very clear and specific on what that looks like. Now, in terms of the technical solution or the technical write-up, for most people, we've never seen anything like that. So again, one of the things I would say is because that information is not made publicly available, that actually information is it's private. It's so they're not allowed to share that. Even though the bids are public, the actual technical write-ups are not. Those are like proprietary to the actual companies, so you can't find that information anywhere online. What I would recommend doing is working with someone who has some experience of putting together technical write-ups so you can see examples of what they look like. Or you could be part of a course or community where you can get examples of technical proposals, technical solutions for your industry. Then that way you can kind of see how that works. We do have some examples inside of our GovCongiants course for people that we've used, that we've provided samples of. So again, if you can get with people who've done something like this before and find yourself samples of it, then you know how to tweak that for your specific solution. And a lot of times, based on the industry, they're really not that far off because typically you're going to tell them about your company, you're going to tell them how long you've been in business, you're going to tell them the people that are going to be involved in this, and you're going to provide resumes of those people based on the qualifications that they're asking. You're going to tell them, and then you're going to tell them how you are going to offer that solution and what you're going to do to make sure that it's delivered correctly, it's delivered on time, and it's delivered for the price that you state. And that's the gist of it, like a high-level macro overview. But again, there's some other elements of it that they may be asking for specifically. So I can tell you, as an example of something that I submitted recently and that I lost, on a MATOC award, when we were looking at providing this construction solution, one of the things that we failed to address in our write-up was the archaeological impact. So there was the site, it was part of a demolition project, and so some of that site was sitting on historic grounds. And so part of what we were supposed to put or include in our technical write-up was how we were going to handle if we came upon some sort of archaeological discovery. How are we going to handle and address that? And we left that out of our technical write-up, so we were dinged as not non-responsive because we didn't include that in our technical component. So again, those are things that you can really miss if you don't look at what all they're asking you to do. But for the most part, with the instructions, they tell you, okay, where to submit it, how to submit it, what's the date, whether it's mail versus email, and then they'll tell you, like I said, if you have to include in there your certs and reps, if you have to just check a checkbox, things like that. So again, the instructions to offers are where I would tell anyone to start out. If they are overwhelmed or they're looking at all of these different documents and pages, I would just do a quick search in the solicitation for the instruction of offers, and that will tell me right now, right then and there, what I had to submit. Hope this helps some people out there. We're going to keep up with these fireside chats. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. As always, till then.